Hey guys, Samaya aka Samizzle here, back with another video, and this time I am making this DIY Wonderland centerpieces, or they could be winter centerpieces. All of the items will be down below in the bio, so let's get started with the video. First off, I use spray paint. I got this from Walmart. Brass rings I got from Amazon. And I'm just going to spray paint those rings. I didn't take a whole video of me doing it because it took a lot of coats since it was a cheaper one from Walmart. And this is how they came out. Next up is these bases. I don't know what they're called exactly. Saucer, I guess. I got them from Dollar Tree, so they were only $1.25 each. The brass rings, they came with the wooden bases in the pack. So I just put them in there. And I hot glued the wooden part onto the saucer plates. You want to make sure that you're putting it in the right spot, so move it around before you hot glue it on just to see where exactly you want to put them. I put some of them in the middle, 4 of them in the middle and 4 of them at the end. I wanted each centerpiece to be a little different. And sometimes the hot glue does get on the plate, so that's me scraping it off, so it's okay if you get hot glue on the plate. This is how they came out. As you can see, some in the middle, some not. These are the string lights from Amazon as well. They are battery packed already, so they were easy to use. I ended up hot gluing. Well, you see, this is me just unraveling it, showing you guys how I unpacked everything. And I ended up hot gluing that white base to the bottom. I only put a little bit at first, just because I didn't want to short the battery or anything. But it didn't get through it since I used a cheaper hot glue as well. So you could put more hot glue if you use a cheaper hot glue. If you get the more expensive hot glue, you could only use a little bit. But that's how it looked. As you see, I just placed everything randomly. These are how they all came out. 2 of them I did differently. I wrapped them around, as you can see right there, instead of just placing it down. Like I said, I wanted everything to be a little different. This is the snow, fake snow that I used, the polyfill I got from Walmart. The 6 that are the same, I am just gonna hot glue that polyfill on those lights just to cover it so you don't see any wires coming through. And I wanted it to be like a nice snow base. I didn't want to overbear it with snow, but you still want to make sure that you put enough polyfill so that you're covering the base. Definitely be careful when you're putting down that hot glue and putting down that polyfill. It did burn, so if you're not used to that, wear gloves. And make sure you cover that wooden base. You might need a little extra snow over there. And as I said earlier, my white part kept falling off, so I had to hot glue that back. And this is how the final product looked with all the snow on it. The 2 that I wrapped, I just had to use a little bit of snow to cover that wire. And here is the glitter snow that I used to put on top of that white snow. I just sprinkled it on there. If you wanted to have a nice glitter look, make sure you put a good amount of snow on there. You also want to make sure that you're getting them edges so there is snow everywhere and not just in the middle. It is messy, so it will get everywhere. And this is how the final products looked. Under the light, you can see the glitter a lot better. Next up is going to be the decorating pieces. The first pieces these came from Amazon. They're like a glitter pack. I had to paint the brown parts just because I didn't want any brown. The colors were white, silver, and pink. So this is me just painting, covering it up. I did not use the silver paint. I only ended up using the white and the pink since it already came with that glitter base. Be careful when you are painting and use the smallest brush that you have. I did end up getting a little paint on other pieces, so I had to cover that up with extra glitter that I had or extra paint. So be careful when you're painting. And these is how they all came out at the end. Next up is these snow globes that also came from Amazon. They came in a pack of 6. I did not show everything I did to make these snow globes, but I hot glued those pictures on first, and then I ended up using the polyfill and the glitter snow to make it more of a snow look. I did have to hot glue some of the polyfill to the back of the pictures just to make sure it covered that the back just so it wasn't just a plain white back. And I did not put any water because I didn't want the picture to fade. This is how the snow globes came out. See, the glitter made it look a little bit more snow-like. Next up is the other decor pieces. These are the ones that I used for them 2 centerpieces that I did differently. Since these 2 didn't have snow globes, I wanted to make them extra, so I put 2 flowers at the side. You're gonna see me right now hot glue them on. That white flower it was like 2 flowers put together, so it had a little dent in the middle that I was able to put the hot glue in the middle and just attach it like that. So this is me just adding more hot glue to it, and you want to make sure you hold it, especially these were heavy, so if it is a heavier piece, you will have to hold it for longer so it won't fall. I held it for probably like 30 seconds. So the silver one, I had to measure where I wanted to put it first, and then you put the hot glue where you want, hold it for, I guess, like 15 to 20 seconds, you could say I held it for. And then I did add some more hot glue to the back, like you see right now, just for that extra support. Like I said, these were heavier. Hold it like this so the hot glue won't fall. And I added a snowflake to the back so you just don't see a bulk of hot glue just sitting in the back. You always want to make sure you cover that extra hot glue so it doesn't look crazy. This is how that came out. This is how it looks with the lights. Next up, I added the tree. This tree is from Shein. Those flowers were from Dollar Tree, if I failed to mention that. As you can see, sometimes the tree come leaning, so you gotta adjust the tree the way you need to. This tree had them like bulky white pieces. If you don't like how they look, like how I didn't like how it looked, I did pick some of it off. The piece that I didn't like, I'm hot gluing that wooden piece and just placing it on there, and this is how that final product looked. Next up is the ornaments that I use for the other 6 centerpieces. You're gonna see me hot glue on them big circle balls first. I did 2 for each centerpiece, 2 big balls for each centerpiece. If you buy more, you could use more. If you wanted more, I didn't want it to be like a full circle look. I just wanted it to be like, a few balls at the edge going up. So I only used 2 or 3 for each of them. These are the bigger ones. It did take a little longer to hot glue. You want to make sure that you place the ball first to see where you need to put the hot glue and hot glue that on. If you need to add more hot glue like you see me doing now, do that. Hold it for like about 10 to 15 seconds. Next up, we're going to add the medium-sized balls. For each centerpiece, I did use a different amount of those medium balls. For this one, I used 3 of them. Like I said, I did want every centerpiece to be different, so I added different amount of ornaments to each one. Next up is the little balls. I believe I only added 2 to this one. The same for the medium and the little balls. You just hot glue them on. The smaller the ornaments, the easier it is to hot glue, the less hot glue you have to use. And this is how it came out. This is how each one of them looked. As you can see, each one looks different. I wanted each to look different. Now this is me adding on them, hot gluing on those snowflakes. The pack came with about 3 different sizes of snowflakes. So for the snowflakes, my goal was to really cover the top of the ornament pieces. So for the back part, I used the bigger snowflakes to cover those. Just placing it in random places to make it look more wintry. Now I'm going to hot glue that tree on. The trees mainly are from either Dollar Tree or Shein. For this centerpiece, I put a snow globe, a tree, and one of them deer ornaments. So you're just going to see me hot glue each one of those on. You want to make sure you see where you want to put the piece before you hot glue it on, just in case you want to move it or something of the sorts. And this is how the final product looked with that deer ornament. See, it shines better in the light. Next up, I'm just going to show another centerpiece that I decorated with the candy ornaments. I had to take off that gold, the part that you use to hook onto the tree. I had to take that off because it was gold and I didn't want to paint over it. So this is me just hot gluing on those candy spots. You know, before you hot glue on anything, you want to look to see if that is the spot that you want it in. With the ones that are heavier, just remember that you are going to need more hot glue and you're going to need to hold it on for longer. And since some of these are like an intricate shape, you want to make sure that you're putting the hot glue in the right spot. So always make sure you see where you need to put the hot glue first, and then you put the hot glue, if that makes sense. As mentioned earlier, I'm just making sure that I am covering up any of those top of the ornament pieces. And then after that, I am putting on the tree and the snow globe and that deer ornament, hot gluing, just like I said earlier. And this is how each one of them came out. I'm going to show you, I believe I showed every centerpiece. So here's one, here's another. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. This is one of my favorite centerpieces. My next video will be another centerpiece, so stay tuned. And yeah, next video coming soon. Thank you for watching.